Hi, my name is Luis and I am an astrophotographer, amateur astrophotographer. In today's video, I will give you an overall introduction idea of how the astrophotography process works on your own, meaning that you do the whole enchilada in order to get an image. You know the astrophotography specializes on or is a form of photography involving capturing images of celestial objects and events such as stars, planets, nebula, and galaxies. It's a blend of an art and science that pushes the limits of human vision by using long exposure techniques and specialized equipment to reveal the universe's beauty and detail, according to the online that I'm reading. Now, basically, I break the whole process in 7 big steps, but I'm just gonna talk about them in a short manner to give you an introduction. Number 1, prior to start, you have to decide what telescope you want, what mount you want. The tripod comes underneath the mount, so there's the telescope, the mount, and the tripod. You have to decide that those components there, especially the mount. If you want to take pictures long exposure of deep sky objects like the Orion Nebula, Andromeda Galaxy, etc., the mount it takes a big role. The stronger the mount can handle weight such as the telescope, the cameras, and all that equipment that you hook up in top, and then it will be easy for the mount to move the gear. Of course, cameras, laptop computer. Some people buy mini computers and hook it up in the telescope, but I'm gonna tell you my experience. I use a laptop. Once you decide the gear, including those equipment, then you have to set up the laptop, installing certain software, make sure that those pieces of software, they work in unison, they work together. Don't get overwhelmed, but just to give you an introduction, there's ASCOM drivers, there's the Celestron firmware manager software, there's a control software by Celestron. It's called the Celestron plane wave instruments telescope control software and stuff like that. So those little pieces, the imaging software, which is capturing the images, and set up the computer that way. It's not hard. Once you have that equipment all in together, then you're gonna start the journey of astrophotography. So the first step, have the equipment. Step number 2, planning. You need to plan for a specific night. Basically, you need to know which objects you're gonna pick up and capture images from. You can pick up 3, but basically you focus on 1 the whole night. The more data you acquire in 1, the better. That way you got enough data to practice and clean up the data and come up with a nice image. So just pick up 1, but when you're planning the day before or the same day you're going to shoot the images, the planning involves looking online. There's a software called, or a website called, let me see how you do this. No, before this. For the planning, there's some free software called Starry Night or Sky Safari. That specific software gives you a journey of how the sky look at night for the next 50 years, 100 years, and then backwards. That way, when you're planning, you need to know before. You go to that night, you explore the sky, and then you start looking, okay, there's a Jupiter there tonight, heading east. There's a nebula here, Andromeda, okay. And then you pick up a couple of targets, and then when you start capturing, just concentrate on 1. But it's good to concentrate on different ones. I mean, pick up 2 or 3 as a backup plan in case 1 doesn't work well, or you do 1 hour of 1 object, then you take a 1 hour for the next object. There's also a site online called Clear Sky Chart. You type the name of your city and immediately Clear Sky Chart, and it will give you if that night is gonna be ready to capture objects. Once you plan, you know your objects, you know that it's going to be clear, and you know for sure. Let's go to step number 3. Set up your telescope and computer. So you grab your gear, set it up in your desired place. I do it in the backyard of a home, and start leveling the tripod, mounting, getting the mount hooked up, screw it, whatever. Get the telescope in, hook up the camera, image train, cables, and you do that. Take 1 hour. Make sure after you finish the setting up for an hour, leave another extra hour for the equipment or the telescope to stew and get acclimatized to the temperature. Once that hour is over waiting for the night to come, now step number 4, capturing data. During that step, you're gonna take images or videos, depending on what object you're picking up. Like for planets, basically are videos, on the moon, and then for deep sky object are pictures. Your imaging software, you know where to go to get that data. Do it 1 hour at a time. You start at 8 o'clock at night. Before you capturing data, of course, you have to polar align your telescope and get it ready and align it. No biggie. Once you start capturing data, allow 1 hour per object. For example, you get the Andromeda galaxy, start getting 1 hour data, or 2 or 3, or you pick up a planet, 1 hour in chunk. Step number 5, actually, let's go back to step number 4. After you finish your session, which will be 3 to 6 hours, usually for me it's like 3. Then, after you finish the session, you capturing all that data, then you produce darks, which take like 15 minutes. Then you you produce flats, which takes another 15 minutes. That's the last 30 minutes of the session. So you have small pictures or data from the deep sky object, Andromeda galaxy, or you got videos of the moon or Jupiter. But if you are in the deep sky object in that night, then you get the darks and the flats, and you combine darks, flats, and the raw data, which are called lights, and that's how you come and produce the image. So after you pick up the flats and darks, step number 5 now, shut down equipment. Turn everything off, mount off, computer off, get the cables off the rig. Maybe you have to dry the cables, they might get wet because of the dew. Dry them, put them in the box, pack up, let's go home. After that, you go home, you're gonna be maybe tired. It's over. That part is over for that day. Then the next day, the next week, the next month, whenever you get the chance, then you're gonna work on the data, and you're gonna do step number 6, which is processing data. You're gonna process the pictures, the darks, the flats, or the movie from the moon or movie from Jupiter, and you're gonna use software such as AutoStacker, WinJupyter, Regix Stacks, or Deep Sky Stacker, another imaging process for the Sun, IMPPG, all that software there, in order to pre-process the data, basically stack the images, or take the video and produce images and stack them too. That's pre-processing. After that, then you go to their favorite post-processing software: Photoshop, PixInsight, Serial. There's many. You pick up whatever you want. Doesn't matter what you pick up. Pick something. Once you get the hang of it, you'll see that this is not hard. And that's step 6. In the processing part, in my experience, to me, it takes like 2 to 3 hours, depending on the object, because you want to refine the data and come up with a nice image, and then you have the final product, the image. And guess what? If you add all that time, from the time of you are planning all the way to the step of you processing the data, if you add all that time, it might be 10, 15, 20 hours, who knows? And And that's the reason once you produce that one image, publish it, which is step 7. Publish it in your favorite platform, Facebook, Cloudy Nights, other many platforms out there. I just publish on those two so far. And if you publish on one an image and you prefer to publish in another platform, pick up a different image so you don't mix. You don't pick up the same image and publish it all in the same place. Just one platform, one image at a time, unique. So that way you show originality and you don't have a conflict if somebody don't like to publish because they got their platform or whatever. So, as an end note, during this process, what I've been learning is like during clear nights, which are few in the year, depending where you at, or maybe many, during clear nights, focus on capturing as much data as you can. Deep sky objects, planets, or the moon, or even the sun during the day. Just focus on one object, 1 hour at a time. That way you accumulate data and it's organized as much as you can, because sometimes you're gonna use data from last year and then the next year you're gonna pick up data from same data for the same objects. For example, last year I pick up the Orion Nebula and pick up 3 hours during that night. Then this year I pick up 3 more hours, and you try to stay in the same spot as possible. And then you combine them, you add them. Minimum 1 hour you're gonna feel good. You're gonna come like, oh, I got some data here, but then you start adding 1, 2, 3, 6 hours, and the image gonna come better, much better. I've been publishing. All my work is simple. It's 1 to 2 hours, 6, whatever. It's not that much. So during clear nights, pick up as much data as you can, because when the cloudy nights hits, which it will, you take that cloudy night's time to process the image. That's one thing, and publish it. And then also, if you run out of data or you wanna allow time to keep learning, so you allow in cloudy nights you are reading, you online, you watching YouTube videos to learn this, to refine the skills that you discover during the process. So everything is gonna work. Everything is gonna work. You're gonna have time to learn a new skill, to refine it by studying, watching videos. Then you're gonna have time to practice what you learn during the clear nights. You're gonna practice what you learn, and also you're gonna practice what you learn when you're processing images. So 3 parts: capturing, processing the image, and keep learning. Allow time to keep learning what you're doing. Revise, practice again, ask questions. You're never gonna get bored. In summary, we talk about how the astrophotography process works on your own, the whole enchilada. Step number 1, you have to decide what gear you want: telescope, mount, tripod, cameras, filters, computer. Installing the computer, the proper software that you're gonna use to capture the images and control the scope, and so on. That's step 1. Step number 2, planning. Go to use the software as a Starry Night or Sky Safari to plan for what objects you're gonna see during that night. That way you write down, okay, and you plan and you know what you're doing, so you're not wasting that night clear, which is precious. Step number 3, set up your telescope and computer. Step number 4, you capture the data. Before you capture the data, allow 1 hour for the equipment to stew before you capturing the data, so the equipment get acclimatized. Step number 4, capturing data. Step number 5, shut down the equipment, pack up, go home, go to sleep. Step number 6, which will be the next day, the next week, or the next month, processing that data that you pick up and that night, or chunks of that data, because it's gonna be a lot of data too. and started processing them with software, with pre-processing software and post-processing software. And then after you get the final product, the image, then you publish it. As an end note again, remember, cloudy nights are to process data and to study skills and get better and understand better every part that you're doing, because this has a lot of parts. So during cloudy nights, that's the best time to study, watch videos, read, processing data, cloudy nights. And clear skies, capture as much as you can. Other than that, I wish you clear skies so you can capture good data, and I see you next. Bye.